Chapter 3. Die Blou Deur, the Blue Door. The morning air was crisp as Elias navigated the steep cobblestone streets of the Bo-Kaap. He kept his eyes peeled, matching the vibrant buildings to the words in his notebook. He passed a rooi house, then a geel one. He was looking for a very specific door. Waar is die geheim, he muttered to himself, reciting his grandfather's note. Where is the secret? At the corner of a narrow street, tucked beneath the shadow of Tafelberg, he saw it. A small, whitewashed cafe with a brilliant cobalt-colored entrance, die Blou Deur. Elias pushed the Blou Deur open. A brass bell chimed overhead. The inside of the cafe was warm, smelling intensely of roasted beans and fresh pastries. Behind the counter stood a young woman with dark curly hair and a green apron. She looked up from the espresso machine and smiled warmly. "Goeiemorgen," she called out. Elias froze. He quickly flipped open his notebook to the pronunciation guide, the guttural G at the front and the U that sounded like oo. "Goeiemorgen," Elias attempted, feeling the scrape of the G in the back of his throat. The woman's smile widened into a grin. "Not bad for an Englishman," she said in perfect, lightly accented English. "Good morning, goeiemorgen. What can I get for you?" "Coffee," Elias said, grateful for the English. "Black, please." "Ah, coffee," she said, tapping the screen of her register. "But if you want it black, you must ask for it without milk." "Milk," Elias repeated. "Milk, that's easy enough. Sounds almost exactly the same." A lot of Afrikaans is like that. It's a cousin to English and Dutch. "Do you want anything to eat with your coffee? We have fresh brood." She pointed to a glass display case filled with thick slices of toasted bread. Bread, Elias noted. The double O in brood sounded a bit like OA in broad, but longer. "Yes, I'll take some brood, thank you. Dankie." "If you want to be very polite," the barista said, leaning over the counter, "you should say please. In Afrikaans, please is asseblief." She pronounced it slowly. Asseblief. Asseblief, Elias practiced. "Coffee, asseblief." "Coming right up. Find a tafel. I'll bring it over." Elias blinked. Tafel, table. His grandfather's sticky notes were already paying off. "Baie dankie," he said. He moved to a small wooden tafel in the back corner of the cafe, facing the deur so he could see anyone walking in. He pulled the hand-drawn map and the silver key from his pocket, laying them flat on the wood. He stared at the key. What did it open, and why was he supposed to search, here? "Here is your coffee and your brood," the woman said, appearing suddenly at his side. Elias jumped, tossing his hand over the silver key to hide it. The woman's eyes dropped to the table. She didn't look at his hand, she looked at the map poking out from beneath his fingers. She stared at the red circle and the frantic handwriting. "Where did you get that?" she asked. Her voice had lost its breezy customer service cheer. It was low and serious. Elias hesitated. "My grandfather." "Willem?" she whispered. Elias nodded slowly. "You knew him?" "I'm Ilara," she said, wiping her hands on her green apron. "He came in here every day. He sat at this exact tafel, and he told me that if a man with a British accent came in carrying a map, I was to give him something." Elias's pulse quickened. The mystery wasn't just in his grandfather's head, it was real. "Did he give you another clue?" Elias asked. Ilara hedged her shoulder. "Not a clue, a box." She glanced nervously toward the Blou Deur. "Wait here, I will get it." Here," Elias nodded. Ilara hurried into the back room. A minute later, she emerged carrying a small, heavy wooden box. It had a brass keyhole on the front. She set it on the tafel in front of Elias. Elias looked at the box, then at the silver key in his hand. He looked up at Ilara. "He said to tell you something else," Ilara whispered, leaning in close. "He said you must hurry. The man with the silver cane came in here yesterday asking questions. He is looking for the geheim too." Elias felt a cold shiver run down his spine. The man from the journal, the man his grandfather had warned him not to trust. Elias looked down at the wooden box. He needed to know what was inside. He remembered the Afrikaans word for what from his translation app. "Wat is dit?" Elias asked. "What is this?" Ilara shook her head. "I don't know," she said softly, "but you have the key. Open it." Elias slid the silver key into the lock. Elias's notebook, Chapter 3 Review. Grandpa wasn't crazy. He left a box with Ilara at the coffee shop. "I have the key, but someone else is looking for it, the man with the silver cane. I need to be careful." "I practiced ordering in the cafe today. Ilara says a lot of the words sound like English, but the vowels and the rough G are the trick." Food and drink. Koffie, milk, brood, water. Greetings and politeness. Goeiemorgen, alsjeblieft. Questions. Wat? Wat is dit? Wie? Recycled words from the map and house. Deur, tafel, hier, geheim.